Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center. And today we're looking at the best ZT knives that you can get in 2019. Let's check them out. Working with big name designers to create innovative and overbuilt blades, Zero Tolerance has staked out a reputation for making some of the most premium US production knives out there, ranging from tactical folders to EDC pocket knives to high-end statement pieces. Closely associated with flipper-style knives, they've set the bar very high, and the quality is apparent as soon as you pick one up. This first knife is an updated rendition of one of their classic models. It's a hard-working standard bearer, the Hinder designed ZT 562 Ti. This knife has everything that a modern flipper needs, and indeed it sets the tone for what you can expect from a ZT knife. We get a titanium frame lock featuring a stone-washed finish, which is going to help hide scratches when you go to use the knife. We've got a lock bar insert to keep lock stick at bay, and it also provides a very long-wearing interface with the tang of the knife. We also get a stabilizing disc that acts as a lock bar over travel stop, keeps you from pushing that bar out too far when you're unlocking. And all of these are essential elements to a modern flipper. It even has a deep carry pocket clip, which is going to help keep the knife out of the way until you need it. The must-haves continue as we move up the knife. And we have a KVT ball bearing pivot, and those caged bearings provide uncompromising action. The blade itself is a drop point, and it's made from CPM 20CV steel. The 562 features Hinder's slicer grind on the blade as well. It's stouter here at the heel of the blade and thinner the closer you get to the tip. This is going to provide slicing efficiency as the belly of the blade moves through your material, while the thicker grind at the base lets you power through tougher stuff like maybe cardboard or carpeting, etc. The 562 has always been an all-around fantastic performer, and now it's better than ever thanks to the all-titanium handle construction. So we're going to move from a big, beefier folder to something on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This knife is still built like a tank, only a smaller tank, and it's something that was introduced earlier this year, the Tim Galian-designed ZT 0022. This is still a titanium frame lock flipper, but with a mere 1.8 inches of blade. It truly puts the pocket in pocket knife. And it's so small that you even have to be careful how you hold it so that the tip doesn't nick you as you're opening. Again, we get CPM 20CV steel with a clip point shape and a continuous curve to the edge. The handles offer a 2.5 finger grip, and thanks to the finger grooves here, the hold is quite secure, and we actually see carbon fiber as the front handle material. And these two things, titanium and carbon fiber, are the things you're going to see most from ZT. This next knife mixes it up a little bit. It's one of the few ZTs that is not a flipper, and this is a collaboration with Ernest Emerson, the ZT 640. This knife has a little bit of that Emerson tactical flair with a sleek and stylish aesthetic. We get a 20 CV blade again, but rather than a flipper, you get the Emerson style ambidextrous thumb plate. No Emerson wave on this knife though, but it's still easy to open with either hand. You could call this knife a liner lock, but to me it still feels like a stout frame lock. The titanium is nice and thick for strong lockup, and we have carbon fiber onlays that feature a green color. This knife fits the hand well, and it carries nice and flat too. It lets you deploy a lot of blade without taking up too much space in your pocket. Okay, we're 4 knives deep into this list, and we haven't even talked yet about Dmitry Syncovich, so here we go. They've collaborated with him on a ton of models. You're going to find him all over the ZT lineup, and we're going to start with the ZT 456. This knife is an awesome statement piece, but it has the bite to back up its bark. We get a broad angular sheep's foot blade, again with 20 CV, and it flows into the equally broad and angular titanium handle. But despite that width, it's still very comfortable to hold. It fits my hand exceedingly well, especially throughout the palm, and it lets you put this powerful blade to heavy work. To keep this knife looking great, we get a classic color combination, combining blue elements that accent the metal parts perfectly. We've got a folded pocket clip, which is reversible, as well as a ridged back spacer, and an anodized and oversized pivot that actually fluctuates between blue and purple. Rolling on with another Syncovich, we've got the wickedly upswept ZT 462. And this version here features, you guessed it, CPM 20 CV steel, 3.75 inches of it in fact, and a red carbon fiber and titanium handle. The handle has a curved shape that follows your palm very well, with your fingers locking into place quite nicely. There's a smaller version too with a 3.25 inch blade, but for sheer impressiveness, this is the one to get. This is another knife that has a narrow profile in the pocket, that belies the power of the steel underneath. The trailing point blade allows you to make really long and sweeping slices. That curve of the blade is going to follow the motion of your elbow as you move through your cut. Like the 456, the 462 combines simply awesome looks with superb performance in one package. Finally, we have one more collaboration from Syncovich that also loops Todd Rexford in on the design, and this is the ZT 850 CF Sprint Run with a two-tone 20 CV blade. Going beyond their normal fare, the 850 shows off some of the innovative technologies that ZT brings to bear. In this case, their patented sub-frame lock. This basically transplants the lock bar from a frame lock and anchors it to another material. In this case, it lets them get the overall weight of the knife down since they use carbon fiber as the base, but you still get the same lockup that you'd expect from a full frame lock. The lightweight is probably the first thing you're going to notice when you pick up the 850. You get a whole lot of blade with virtually no weight penalty. And the modified sheep's foot blade will absolutely power through tough cuts. My favorite detail though is the cylindrical backspacer, and it's been milled to resemble a revolver cylinder. And that 6-shooter theme carries through to the pivot hardware and the spine-mounted thumb stud. Thumb studs because this one also is not a flipper. Not that the design is hurt at all because of that. It still deploys very smoothly, very quickly, and it's very satisfying. The next innovative design is the ZT55, based on the GTC Knives Airborne design by Gus T. Cecchini. The standard version was recently discontinued, and these knives aren't gone yet, but you'll want to get one before they are. The faceted angular design of this knife is just the start. This is a frame lock flipper, but you'll notice that you don't see a flipper tab. That's because this knife uses Cecchini's SLT hidden flipper, and this operates sort of like a 2-stage trigger. Pull the tab back until it stops, then pull back like any other flipper, and the tuned detent and the KVT bearings fire the blade out quickly. Once you've figured it out, the SLT flipper can be used in one fluid motion just like any other flipper, but then it disappears when open so you have a nice clean profile. The blade itself is not 20 CV in this case, it's actually S35VN, and it has a reverse tanto shape with compound flat grinds and a stone-washed finish. The strong lines are carried through to the handle with a sculpted milling pattern, but it still feels good in the hand even with all the relief. There's even a floating backspacer in blue for the perfect accent. For a hard-working ZT knife that also serves as a high-tech style piece, the 55 is hard to beat, and we're going to be sad when they're finally gone. Last but not least, the R.J. Martin designed ZT609, and this one here is actually the 609 PUR Sprint Run, which looks fantastic with a purple anodized frame. There's also a gold version of this knife, and this one is one of my favorite ZT designs of all time. For me, it's a perfect size for EDC. We get 3.4 inches of 20 CV steel with a black PVD coated blade in a highly usable profile. It's a KVT ball bearing pivot as you would expect, but the hardware itself is actually Martin's see-through pivot. It's a nice little detail that keeps your appreciation up as you own the knife. The handle itself is milled to perfection. It's slim enough to carry easily, but full enough to put to work. There's a reason that the 609 takes the top spot for me personally. It's just as strong as anything else they make, and it's still very stylish, but it's a little more understated in its dimensions. It makes it a fantastic EDC pocket knife or gentleman's knife. So that's it for our list of top ZT knives today. Now I know we saw a lot of CPM 20 CV, and there's a reason for it. It's one of the best premium options out there for all-around use. This is Crucible Steel's version of M390, and it's all American made just like the knives. It's stainless, and we get great edge holding thanks to impressive wear resistance. You should have a long-lasting sharp edge that'll see you through just about any job and then some. And the ZT build quality is impeccable. As I said, as soon as you pick it up, you can see it. The import brands are bringing it on strong these days, and it's good to see that a US company still does things right and is ready for the competition. Be sure to let us know what you think of our list of best ZT knives for 2019. Did we leave anything out? Be sure to let us know your favorite zero-tolerance knives in the comments. In the meantime, to get your hands on any of them, you can click the link in the description to head over to KnifeCenter.com. And be sure to sign up for our Knife Rewards program while you're there, because the only thing better than a new knife is free money to spend on your next one. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center, signing off. See you next time.
See me rolling.
Should probably take the Band-Aid off. And we have green carbon fiber onlays that feature green carbon fiber. Damn it, it's a good Band-Aid.
Can't use that. I thought I told you we weren't doing ASMR.
Ooh, I can feel things.